Being a very popular vacation destination creates a lot of individuals visiting a specific location. Myrtle Beach is no exception. A lot of people come here. Now, what happens when people come together? Inevitably, there is crime. Now, a lot of people argue that Myrtle Beach is extremely dangerous, while others argue you're just manipulating statistics. So let's look at some data and have a conversation about whether or not Myrtle Beach is truly one of the most dangerous cities in America. When some people make the claim about Myrtle Beach being dangerous, they're referring to this number, violent crimes per 1,000 people. Now, we need to keep in mind that per 1,000 people is based on population. And we all know that the population of Myrtle Beach is actually quite small compared to the number of people who travel to Myrtle Beach. So that means at any given point, the number of actual people in the city limits is much higher than the population. The numbers you see on screen right now, we're going to revisit later in the video with a better explanation so you understand them better. But in a nutshell, the national average is 32 and change per 1,000 individuals when it comes to crime statistics. But Myrtle Beach, when you take into consideration the metropolitan statistical area, is only 11.8. Now, we will define what MSA is later in the video. Before we get into the empirical data, let's just keep in mind that people talk, news communicates, word of mouth. A lot of sources are going to give you different information about what is occurring in the city of Myrtle Beach, along with social media video. Now, let's take a moment to look at some of these examples of what's being shared and driving some of these narratives that you may be reading or hearing about.
Oh, look. Oh, hell, what about? Oh, he's shot him. You got that on video? Yeah.
Myrtle Beach is now considered one of America's most dangerous. According to alarms.org, Myrtle Beach is the most crime-ridden city in the Palmetto State and 33rd most dangerous in the country. A neighborhood scout calls it the 13th most dangerous, saying you have a 1 in 60 chance of becoming a victim of a violent crime in Myrtle Beach.
Let's dig into the most violent crime, murders. Now, these are the numbers from 2018 for specific areas. Now, you may think one murder is too many, and I would agree with you there. But when you're looking at these regions and the number of people who are visiting close to 1 million a year, are these numbers actually bad? I'll let you decide that. It is up to you to determine whether these numbers generate a safe or dangerous environment to visit. The takeaway I get from this data set is that Surfside Beach is relatively safe.
Stop right there. Stop right there. Put it in park. Put it in park. Put it in park. Put it in park. Stop.
Timberline northbound. Rifle in his hand.
You're going to pick up all the tinfoil, which is all up and down through here. That's where they're burning crack cocaine. I have come out here and asked them to leave before and had a knife pulled on.
Okay, good.
Yeah, see, that's where they're burning the dope on it with the holes in it right there. But I don't know who to go to for answers anymore. I've pestered the police department to death. I know with everything that's gone on in Myrtle Beach for the last years that we've had some problems here.
How often would you say you've called the police?
Oh, since I've lived here, 50 times.
50
I don't
times.
back here. There's drug dealing back here all the time. We love our home here, but we're fighting it every day because the prostitution up down the streets, trying to come in the house, beating on the doors. My mother-in-law, when she was arrived, she got $100 taken from her out of her pocketbook right in the front yard right there. They took it from her and intimidated her. It's just sad that it's got to that.
And Ocean Boulevard, Myrtle Beach, and they're running. Oh, they're fighting, fight, 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 fight. Oh, oh, the officer's down. Officer is down. Cop is down. Multiple people down. We're at 4th Avenue North. Stay away. If you're watching this, stay away from 4th Avenue North and Ocean Boulevard. Stay away from this area. If you're watching this feed, there's multiple people been shot.
We're still on 707. He's going to go back into the same plaza he went into a second ago. Head towards Coalition again. 947 right there on Coalition.
Take into account the metropolitan area around Myrtle Beach. It does not include the millions of tourists that come to Myrtle Beach every year.
One of the problems with the way that they measure the statistics is they take a fairly small number of the actual population of the city of Myrtle Beach, but you've got crime that's occurring in that entire statistical metropolitan area. So what a more accurate measure is to take that number of the actual population for the entire statistical metropolitan area and measure the crime rate based on that instead of what's for us a fairly small number of people that actually live in the city of Myrtle Beach.
If you take into account the Myrtle Beach metropolitan area, including all of the county, over 400,000 people, the actual crime rate is lower here than the national average.
With all that in mind, this MSA statistic is based off of population of the local area, not just the city of Myrtle Beach. This number does not even take into consideration the transient population that's visiting temporarily, the hundreds of thousands of people who are in the city limits that are not part of the statistic. So if you really could compile the accurate number of individuals within this area and apply them to these statistics, they'd probably be a lot lower. So let's take all of this into consideration when you make your individual judgment of whether or not the area is dangerous. Yes, we've seen examples of violent crimes, but it only takes one incident to be recorded and go viral, if you will, and generate stir, which drives a narrative. On the other hand, we have our statistics that say something different than what we're seeing in our social media and our glorified news reports. So I recommend to you, if you're going to be visiting Myrtle Beach, don't take someone's opinion or a news report or a single statistic and base your decision on that. Do your own research, compile your own data, and come to your own opinion and your own decision whether or not Myrtle Beach is truly dangerous, or even, as some say, one of the most dangerous cities in the United States. Now, I could insert here my personal opinion, but that is not important. Like I said, do your own research, have your own opinion. So for all of you watching, I recommend comment down below. Let me know what you think. Let me hear your experiences. And let's be courteous, because I know this is a sensitive subject to some people, and others are very passionate about it. So let's have a good discussion in the comments. And as usual, if you've gotten this far in the video, thank you. I appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy, everybody, and stay safe.